G'day guys and welcome back. I'm Rosini16 and I'm here today to bring you yet another squad builder. Now I did a pack opening not long ago and I did happen to pack one of these informs that I got, and with the leftover money I did buy the one on the left hand side. Now we're about to show you the team. I'm doing something different. I'm doing two informs at once because you're about to see why as we flick across. Now as you can see, we're doing both Stoke players, one that is Shaqiri on the right hand side and the left hand side which is Arnautovic. Now I thought it seemed fitting to do both at the same time because they're from the same team and they're both relatively cheap at the moment. Arnautovic going for about 30 to 40k, Shaqiri about double that, if not close to 100k. But they're both very similar players, 4-star skill. They're both pretty physical. Arnautovic obviously being a little bit more because he's taller. Shaqiri being a little bit more faster and agile. They make up for what they lack in. And I put this real sweaty team around them as well, which I think will be good. I know it's got a couple of similarities to the last squad builder I did, but the idea of this is to have the best team possible, as I do want to get the ball to them as much as I can to give them opportunities to score. So there is similarities in there, such as Petr Cech or Mesut Ozil, but I need to get the best team behind them as best I can to try and give them the best chance of proving that they are worth the money they cost. Now, they do come in midfield, left mid and right mid positions. I have changed them to right and left forward just to fully optimize them in the way that I play, but that might not be the way that you play. I like to use my wingers to score rather than assist, so I put them up in the left forward and right forward position, so they will be playing there to hopefully score a couple more goals, but I understand that might not be what you guys go about it. But I chuck Lukaku in the middle, a nice strong forward to help hopefully be assisted to or help him assist them. I got a nice sweaty midfield behind them, all very attacking players, normally probably cam players. All pretty skillful. I think they're all 4-star skills. So I've got Mesut in the middle, obviously, because he's got the best passing and awareness, so I chucked him there. Defense I tried to make as solid as possible, but without using the same players as last time. I did make the left and right back pacey defenders, as there's Clichy and Walker, probably the fastest in their position in the league, except for maybe Hector Bellerin on the right hand side. But I did the best I could. It's a pretty good side. We do go into these games. I do play 5 for you, although 2 of them, one was a guy who joined the game as a bronze team and quit instantly. Obviously he was getting his fitness up in his other squad, and the other one was 0-0 and he quit at like 30 minutes in, so I didn't put them in. It will make it look like I've played 7 games with the team, but I can assure you that's not the case. I only played 5. So make sure you keep in mind at the end when I show you the stats for what they have done in the game, it's only 5 games, not 7. So just a heads up, we're going to obviously jump in and do 5 games as I said. Hopefully I can show you guys that they're worth buying, or tell you whether they aren't worth buying and what they're strong suited to how to optimize them to their full potential. But we're going to jump into the first game and I'll see you there. Going into the first game, we come up against this really nice 100 cam BPL side, fairly strong. Got some dangerous players in there, but hopefully we can go out and get some good goals with Arnautovic and Shaqiri. Now, going into this first game, what I have to say about the players themselves, I'm only showing clips, obviously, that they either scored or assisted. They were both very similar players, and what one lacked, the other one made up in. For instance, Arnautovic is 6'4", where Shaqiri is quite a small man but bulky, so Arnautovic does get the edge over him in physical, and his height makes him really good for headers, which obviously Shaqiri is not very good at because he is a smaller character. The only thing I can fault Arnautovic for is the fact that because he is big, he is a bit bulky to try and move with sometimes. He's very slow to it and he struggles a little bit with ball control, like his one-touch control and just trying to maneuver through defenders. He's a bit stiff in the way he moves, but he's not like, don't take that as bad criticism. He was still really good, but it's the only thing I could fault him on. Whereas Shaqiri, in other words, he was the opposite. He wasn't all that physical, which made him a lot more agile. Now, for the players who are skill players and prefer to get in close and try and weave around their opponents, I recommend Shaqiri. Where if you're going for a team where you want to cross it in and get that header or just have an overpowered side where they can't be pushed off the ball, then I reckon Arnautovic, because Shaqiri was really good. He was probably my favourite. He does end up with more goals, but don't take that as Arnautovic isn't as good. It was purely for the fact that I used the right side of the pitch a lot more than the left, so a lot of the balls and plays did go through him rather than Arnautovic. But Arnautovic did a good job of getting central. A lot of the time I didn't find him on the left-hand side. I found him in the middle, and Lukaku moved out to the left-hand side. But he was good, but obviously the ball going through Shaqiri more meant that he got more of the possession and more of the goals, etc., etc. But as I was saying, Shaqiri was probably more agile and better with the skill, although they do have the same amount of skill moves. Shaqiri seemed a lot smoother with the way he did it, and I felt like I had more control of the ball. But his finesse curve shot finish was absolutely amazing. Both of them were actually. They didn't have many chances where they didn't score, so pretty much any chance they had in this video, because once they got in a position where they could shoot and get it off without it being hit by a defender or anything, they nailed it. And that goal top right hand corner near side by Shaqiri was absolutely phenomenal, and it was a really fun team to play with. Actually, the most disappointed I was in the whole team was actually Lukaku. I could not do anything with him, and I never in these episodes deliberately try and feed it to Shaqiri or Arnautovic or the person I am doing the squad builder around. I try as much as possible to just play as I normally would and not try and feed it off to him, although there was one goal that I probably did back on the first game where I did tramp it across to Arnautovic, but I didn't deliberately try to feed it to him. I just played as I naturally did and tried to get as many goals as I could. Now, in saying that, it wasn't as good as when I had what's his name, Balassi, when I did the squad builder around him. They didn't score as many goals as him, but keep in mind I also had two players I was doing it with, as well as the fact as Balassi was a central player, and like obviously it's going to be easier if he's a central striker, but they were still phenomenal players. I'm really keen to hopefully in the near future get enough informs that link together or can be put together so that I can do an actual full inform squad builder. Now, having a lot of BPL informs such as Zuma and Ramsey and all them sorts of players that are actually coming up real cheap, I might actually be able to do it soon. I built it before and I actually got like 3 players short of it, so we're not too far away. But I still would prefer Balassi over these two, but at the same time these two are a lot cheaper. I don't understand why there's such a big price difference between Arnautovic and Shaqiri, because they were very similar. There wasn't a whole lot to split them, and they both had their own personal traits which I liked, and obviously like they balanced each other out. So I'm really interested to do a game with Balassi in the middle instead of Lukaku. I feel like that'll be a really good game, because the least amount of skill I have is 4 stars, and I'm a very skill-based player the way I play FIFA. But we are drawing to the end of this squad builder in the 5 games. We did manage to go unbeaten in all of them. We got 5 out of 5 wins, which is absolutely phenomenal. This is the last highlight for it. As you can tell, there was quite a few goals, obviously, because there was 2 of them, but they were pretty good goals nonetheless. Like, they weren't really like undeserved or anything. We won them all. We played phenomenal, and we're just going to jump back to the squad menu here, and I'll show you the stats for them. So from the 5 games, we're going to jump in and show you the stats. Now, it was a very, very, very good 5 games. I very much enjoyed this side. And in the 5 games, Arnautovic did get 5 goals and 1 assist. So he averaged at least 1 scoring opportunity a game. Now, Shaqiri did score more goals but didn't assist. He got 7 goals in the 5 games, which is absolutely phenomenal. Now, for what they're worth, Arnautovic is a lot cheaper, so I recommend probably getting him first. But they're very good players, and I'm glad I actually have them in my side, because I will be using them in my main side. But that is going to draw this squad builder to a close, guys. I want to thank you very much for coming along and watching, and I hope you feel more knowledgeable now and hopefully want to go out and get them. But that's going to end it for me, guys. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll hopefully have another one up for you very soon.